Good morning, all of you. Today we'll discuss a few more problems on the magnetic pressure. Then we'll find out the field in a cavity, like in gravitation, in electrostatics, we discuss like what is the field inside the cavity. So here in a long wire, if a cavity is made, what about the field inside the cavity and external to the long wire that are with cavity? Then we'll go for the working of galvanometer, construction working of galvanometer. Galvanometer working construction is there only for mains, not there for advance. Today, will they ask? Yes, I'm not sure that one. So because it is the only part of for main syllabus, not there for advance. So possibility of in today's advanced exam also they may ask. So just is based on torque due to dipole moment. First we'll focus on these few problems. Okay, read the question. If telling a system consists of two parallel planes carrying current producing uniform magnetic field index B, outside this plane there is no magnetic field. So let me take that two planes. The magnetic force acting per unit area. So you can assume now, let the field here, let it be out of the plane. The field here, let it be into the plane. Anything you can assume. So we'll, now what we are calculating the force of interaction between the planes. That's nothing but the force per unit area of each plane. Earlier we did for wire, no? Now force of interaction for each plane it is. Now let it be lambda current per unit width, let it be lambda. We'll assume or J, anything you can assume. So let me assume lambda is the current per unit width. Let me assume this. Out of the plane. So what is the field produced by this? The field produced by this will be here. Call B1. This will be B1. And it will also produce B1 here. Everywhere, no? By superposition. Similarly, the field produced by this B2 B2. So this will be B2. Here it will be B2. So take help of the superposition condition like this. Now force of interaction between them is asking. So the method like usually we'll go for these are the plates, no? If you go for three-dimensional, so we'll assume here now is surface. Then we'll calculate the force acting on that given surface here. So the surface is what? Let me take it out. I'll show it after on this one. See, any method, I'm just showing this one, any any directly you can also write this one. So this is the B2, it is produced here, the direction of B2 like this. Keep in mind now. So shall we assume that the plate, this is the plate 1, plate 2. Let's assume that the plate 2 is present in the field of plate 1, and this is a method what will take it. So let this be X, let this be distance Y. Will it enclose any current? Yes, it is. Okay, directly go for. So main field due to one plate. So what should be the value of B1? So what I'm assuming, the second plate is present in the field of first plate. So what is the value of B1? B1 should be equal to mu naught lambda by 2. The field produced by the plate 1 nearby the plate 2. Mu naught lambda by 2. As they are large plates, consists of different. So as it will be uniform. No? Already I think we have discussed enough of all this one. So this is a B1. So let's, any current will flow in this. So some DI current will flow here, no? DI2, you write it. That current will experience force due to B1. So again, come take help of Fleming's left-hand rule. B1, B1. So in what direction that force should be? That force is going to be in this direction, DF. Similarly, you can analyze here also. I'll show for one. Similarly, for this also you can show it. So this is a DF. So what is a DF? Force acting on that green color shear strip. DF should be equal to B1 into DI2. What is the length of that? Will be X. What is DI2? DI2 can write as lambda into Y. Lambda. Similarly, what is value of B2? B2 equal to mu naught lambda by 2. So lambda what you can write? 2B2 by mu naught. Correct? No, I did.
Sir, towards the left side, it should be upward, no, sir. B1.
B1, see like a current is flowing, so use right hand thumb rule. So B1 everywhere here should be towards downward, no? Of plate 1, of the plate 2 what happened? There's a wire, no? If a current I flows here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sorry, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, this will be the value of like a 2B1 B2 by mu naught into, so this will be XY will come. Is asking that force per unit width. Magnetic induction is how much he has given? Magnetic induction, the value is given B square, the value is B1 equal to B2, no? So this should be later, I'll write it. In the end we'll write it, we'll get confused. Plates are identical. So the force per unit width, how much we can write it now? So dF by xy should be equal to 2b square by mu naught. Oh, one more thing. The total magnetic field is given B. I think I'll just change it. The total magnetic field is given B1 plus B2. Let me call this is B dash. So this will become B dash plus B dash. I think try to read question. Some data is given. Induction B between the plates producing the total field is B. The net field is B. What is that B? B1 plus B2. And in turn, what is B1, B2? They are equal. So therefore, this will become, I think I'll replace B1, B2. Let it be. And I'll come to this one. So this should be 2B dash. So from the formula, df by xy should be equal to 2b dash square by mu naught. 2 mu naught. B dash is what? B by 2 whole square. So this will become B square by 2 mu naught. Now try to see the data given. The net field between the plates is given, not the field produced by individual plates. Try to be careful here now. So not only magnetic pressure. So what we can do is like a the field produced by one surface on other surface will exert a force. I think this is very important. It's there one problem is there in Singage in subjective. Please do go through that. It's very important that one. If a current carrying structure kept in a magnetic field will experience a force. That force per unit area is what? Magnetic pressure. Now you have quite good applications. How do this force will be? Repulsive force shall we put here? So when two plates carry current in opposite direction, so how the force will be? The force per unit area will act in opposite direction. If the current flowing in both the sheets in same direction, it will be attractive. What we did for wire, for even plates also, it can be asked. Okay, getting this one. So there's a plate 1, there's a plate 2. For application, these are very important. So always try to see that the resultant field is given. So therefore, I have to take this one. So this is very important. Please do notice here. Okay, now we'll take about the cavity one. So there's a long wire. If a cavity is formed along the length of the wire such that the axis of the cavity is parallel to the axis of the wire, that one. So we do have two cavities, two axes, one axis of the cavity, another is the axis of the wire, that one. So this is axis of wire. So how to get the cavity problems, that one. So what is my question? What is the field inside the cavity? What is the field outside? Anywhere. So surrounding at all points in a region, we have to find out cavity. So what is this? What is the diagram you are seeing? A long wire where a cavity is formed along the length of the wire. And what is the B? B is the radius of cavity. A is the radius of the wire. Let J be the current density. So first I'm interested at this particular point. So what about the field at point P1? Later on we'll go for field outside. Later on we'll take one more point. Let it be this one. I think enough of ideas are there. So now let me introduce to one formula. Let me introduce to one formula. So already you know for a long wire, this is R bar and this is the current density. No, how is the B bar here? B bar will be in this direction. And this is R bar, no? Let me give that vectors. One more very important formula. This is R bar. And this is what will be B bar, no? And this is the current density. Now, this is what R bar, this is the resultant vector b bar. Any relation between these quantities? There's a long wire. So value of b bar, it is given by mu naught by 2 j bar cross r bar. What is j? J is equal to total current flowing per unit area. Can you remember this? In the beginning of Amperes law, we discussed something. There's a relationship between the b bar current density and the position vector. So how you brought it? I think look at the formulas, the way what we brought the answers, no? And look at the j bar and r bar, they are perpendicular. And look at again b bar. B bar is perpendicular to plane containing j bar, r bar. Now curl fingers from j bar towards r bar. The thumb will give direction of b bar. Take right hand screw rule. Very important for you. Put from j bar towards r bar, you curl it. J bar is along negative z axis. R bar is along positive x axis. When you curl from negative z axis to positive x axis, so how the thumb will be along negative y axis. That's the direction of b bar. So in any system, current carrying system, if you want to calculate the magnetic field at any particular point, so define position vector of that particular point from the axis, then you know current density, it's a vector. So then you can predict the value of b bar. So directly, I think there's a very good formula which is going to help you. We know field inside the cavity, what will happen? Inside the wire should increase. So substitute this, you see the same answer what we got it. So that particular what we got in Ampere circuit law, that is only in the formula wise we are representing. This is what going to help us a lot. So please do remember this. This is very important. Please do remember me. Let's take help of this one. So what is this cavity problems? So what is the mechanism involved in this? So a wire without cavity. So what is this total everything? A wire without cavity. I'll come. Let me introduce here only. I need lot of space. First, so there's a wire without cavity. So the point P1 will be here. Next again we are having a cavity. This is a point P1. And what is the radius of this cavity? B. And let this be R1, write it out, R1. Position vector from O1 P1 will be R1. Okay, now whatever the current density here into the plane. What you should take, you just take out of the plane. There's everything is cavity. I'm just shading. The cavity is what brought here. So this particular material, when you place it, no, you'll get a cavity. I think okay, this one. Already we have shaded in green color. Now let's come for the mathematics. So come use the basic formula. How the b bar vector should be? B bar vector. So should be in this direction. This should be B1 bar. What about here? B bar. B bar should be in this direction. The B bar is going to come and let this be R2 bar. The same idea what we used in electrostatics. Now why B2 should be in that direction? Out of the plane, and let me call this is R2 bar. And this is O1, this O2. This is a cavity, there's a wire without cavity. First, let me define B1 bar. First, let me define B1 bar. What is B1 bar? We can write it as B1 bar mu naught J bar cross R1 bar by 2. What about B2? Mu naught minus J, no? It should be. Because out of the plane, into the plane, if the current density into the plane, you took positive. If the current density out of the plane, it should be negative. Like in electrostatics, positive charge density, negative charge. In moment of inertia, positive charge, negative. The similar method is what we are applying. So what is the resultant field at that particular point? The field at point P1 should be the vector sum of these two. The vector sum of these two. So the resultant field at point P1 should be equal to B1 bar plus B2 bar. B1 bar mu naught by 2 J bar cross R1 bar plus mu naught by 2 minus J bar cross R2 bar. R2 bar vector will be from O2 to P2, that one. We'll make it P. I'll make symbol P. What is OP O1 P bar is equal to R1 bar. O2 P bar equal to R bar. There's a first problem, no? Just analyze carefully, it'll be much easier for you. Then this, let me adjust that negative sign, R1 bar plus mu naught by 2 J bar minus R2 bar, I'll write it. R1 bar minus R2 bar. There's the field at point P. R1 bar minus R2 bar. R2 bar is in this direction. R1 bar is in this direction. So how the vectors, we have to show that. So we got J now. It's all depends upon R1 bar minus R2 bar. What can be R1 bar minus R2 bar? So if I take this one, where's circle gone? Let me draw the fresh one. And this is the cavity, no? This is the point O1, O2, and this is the point P. Let me define the vectors here. This is what R1 bar. This is what minus R2 bar. So how we write it? This R1 bar. This is minus R2 bar is OOP, O2 P2. But here minus R2 bar. So PO2 will be R2 bar. So the resultant is what now? We are getting this one. So what is R1 bar minus R2 bar? From the vector diagram, R1 bar minus R2 bar minus R bar equals 0. or R1 bar minus R2 bar equal to R. And what is R? R equal to O1 O2. So therefore, what is the resultant field at this point? Mu naught by 2 J bar O1 O2. Or what is O1 O2 bar? What is O1 O2 bar? O1 O2 bar is the line joining, the vector line joining the center of the Y to center of the cavity. Is that okay now? So will it be constant everywhere? You move the point wherever you want. You shift this point wherever you want. The resultant of R1 bar minus R2 bar should be equal to R bar only. I'm going to shift the point. Let me shift the point here. In that case, so therefore, will it be uniform? Yes, it will be uniform. And what is O1, O2? Come for this O1, O2. O1 is A and O2 is B. So A minus B it is. So what is the magnitude of that? Magnitude of that should be mu naught J to A minus B, that one. So magnitude is how much? Mu naught J by 2 A minus B, and it will be uniform, will be a constant value. So what is the field inside the cavity? Will be uniform. What about anybody direction? Again, whose help you are going to take? Take help of the vector cross product. J bar into the plane along native z axis. Right hand screw rule. Right hand screw rule, that one. Or Fleming's. So here J bar cross R bar, no. So this one. So J bar is different. So from J bar towards R bar, you curl fingers. So what is R bar? R bar is over O2. So what is the direction of magnetic field? Shall I put negative y-axis? The direction should be vertically down. I'll show it. Okay, fine. So it should be vertically down. So what should be the direction of B bar? Anybody here? The field inside the cavity. It will be uniform. How much? Constant magnitude. What about direction? Negative y-axis. So it should be perpendicular to line joining the center of the Y to center of cavity. One more diagram. So the direction of field should be I'll remove all this. This is very important. Only in electrostatic field they've asked. They didn't ask till now in magnetism. So possibility of asking for such things in advance should be uniform. Now any applications can be brought here. Uniform magnetic field is set up inside the cavity, and any application can come for you. And how much magnitude? Equal to BP. Mu naught J to A minus B. Okay, fine. So this is about the field. So what about the outside? Anywhere outside? Everywhere outside. So here next our thing is at outside. Outside, what I should do? Again, similarly the method due to wire, because what about the point P2 will lie outside. So I'll go to the outside now. Let's take the some point on outside. So this is the so here the cavity. this is B, this is A,
Sir,
O1 and O2. So our point is now the field at a point somewhere here. The resultant direction should be B bar perpendicular to, look at that, J bar cross O1, O2. J bar is what? Along negative Z axis.
sir, O1, O2 should be B, not A minus B.
O1, O2 is along X axis. J bar is along negative Z axis. Okay, fine. So K cross I minus K cross I, you curl it. So it should be along negative Y axis, no?
Sir, the magnitude of O1, O2 is B, not A minus B.
B minus A, huh?
Only B, sir. The cavity is passing through center of circle, so distance between the two centers will be radius of smaller one.
O1, O2 is B, no? What I took, yeah, that one. O1, O2 is, yeah, yeah, this one. This is only B will come, yeah. If there is some, you can display the cavity, then you can, so the distance between the cavity to that particular will be B, that one. This is the, okay, direction, okay, that one. So take help of this vector former, very useful for you. Cavity need not be this one. We can bring cavity here also. Alter the distance from the center of the Y to center of cavity. That should be this B, and you know current density, you can directly predict here. Okay, now we'll go for outside. Just the point is what we'll pick up here. So let me take this is a point P2. So what is this? This is equivalent to wire without cavity, then wire with cavity. Shall we take like this? And there is a cavity. Green color is what? Shading is what? The cavity, that one. Okay, no cavity. Here the current density G. What is the method? So this should be equal to what? Wire without cavity. I'll draw a small diagram. This is A, and this is the point P2, and a cavity of radius B. This is point P2. So let's take that distance. O1 P2 is equal to, let it be 2A. Then we can substitute. So here current will be into the plane, and what about current will be out of the plane. So how much of total current is needed, no, here? In terms of J, you can bring it, or what is the current density? What we have is J, that one. So what is the total current here? The total current here will be I1. The total current here will be I2. So what should be I1 is equal to? I1 is equal to J into pi A square. What about I2 is equal to J into pi B square? So now, what is the magnetic field outside the solenoid, outside the long wire? Outside the long wire, what is the formula? B1 is equal to, how B1? B1 will be directed like this. What about B2? B2 should be directed in this direction. So B1 is equal to mu naught I1 2 pi O1 P2. Mu naught 2 pi O1 P2 is what? 2E. And what is I? I is equal to we I1, no, it is. What is I1? I1 will be j pi a square. Substituting this, we'll get the value of B1 as so pi a square will get cancelled. So this will be mu naught j a by 4. Pi a will get cancelled out. So this is the magnetic field. Now similarly, we'll calculate B2. B2 should be equal to mu naught I2 2 pi O2 P2. O2 P2 should be 2a minus b because O1 P2 is given 2a and O1 O2 is b. So 2a minus b is what? And I2 is j into pi b square. So mu naught j b square by 2a minus b. Check calculation once. What about the resultant field? The resultant field, I should take the difference of this one, no? Because our B1, B2 are directed. They're directed opposite. So what is the total field at point should be equal to B1 minus of B2. Or else what happen here you put minus J, then take B1 plus B2. Since they're opposite, I'm taking the difference. Substitute this, you'll get the resultant field. Okay, this is about external to cavity. Somewhere outside also, anywhere you can find out. Inside the cavity will be uniform. What about outside? Outside will be non-uniform. As you move away, you can say definitely as you vary the point P2, the magnetic strength is going to vary. You look at the thing that one. Again, don't say it's a constant. Will not be uniform, will be non-uniform. Outside, inside the cavity will be uniform. Anywhere here or here will be non-uniform. The field will be non-uniform. Only inside the cavity will be uniform. They may test you with simple ideas like this. Inside the cavity uniform, outside external to cavity, the field will be non-uniform. Yes, it is. Can we find out anywhere outside? Again, the same superposition method. The resultant field should be due to cavity and wire without cavity. Take superposition of that, you'll get the required field. Okay, I'm just closing this so any of the questions can be asked for you. And a cavity can come not only of this, cavity can come of any shape. So I have brought one problem. So here look at the cavity overlapping, no? Due to overlap, look at the cavity green color. This is a cavity. Two intersecting cylinders have their axes parallel. The current density vector has same magnitude, but is in opposite direction in the two cylinders. The magnetic field at point P having radius vector x bar and y bar with respect to axis of cylinder is given by. Find the field strength inside the cavity. So what is that green color is what cavity. Okay, now come out of that only spherical cavity. Two intersections. So when plus j minus j overlap, what you get, there the resultant current density will be zero. There's the meaning of that. Doesn't mean that material, iron, copper, so iron, copper merge, what happen? No matter will exist. I think in terms of what we are discussing, in terms of current density here, cavity means no, doesn't mean that here no material is present. Please come out of the way what you're thinking here. So what is there? The current density is zero. The cavity in the sense, not like metal is absent, metal is present. Suppose if both the cylinders are made up of iron. So don't think that here no iron. Metal will be there, but current density will be zero. So again, take help of directly the formula, what we have. So directly, I think you can take help of the basic formula. So what is the resultant field at that particular point? B bar, B1 bar plus B2 bar. So I think the formula what we had now is going to help us a lot. Mu naught by 2 j bar cross x bar plus, this should be mu naught by 2 minus j bar cross y bar. And this negative sign, please do notice. Why it is negative? Into the plane, if I take positive j bar, out of the plane it should be negative, that one. So this you simplify it. Mu naught j bar 2 x bar minus y bar. So what is x bar minus y bar? So the vector diagram will come like this. This is O1. This is what x bar. This is what y bar. X bar minus y bar. X bar minus y bar means this x bar. This is what y bar, no? So then what we get is this a bar. Look at arrow, the direction of arrow. So the resultant, what we can write it, mu naught j by 2 a bar, j bar cross a bar. So the symbol. Okay, fine. So this is the analyzing the problems in this way. Two current carrying structures, if they merge in the region there, there'll be cavity. Or you may get a problem plus j, 2j. The resultant field there, what happen? Will be j, that one. So you have to be careful. Huh? So this green color is what? The cavity. So just write it here. Similar to like cavity. And what should be the field inside that cavity? No, should be uniform. No, field in cavity is uniform. Earlier in circular region was uniform. Now in this structure will be uniform. So how the field will be? Okay, so these are some good questions are there, can be asked for you. Any application problems can be brought inside this cavity. You have to be alert. Okay, let's come for the magnetism. This one. Oh, no. At any other point you can find out. Let's come for galvanometer. This is only for means. but today's advanced exam, they may ask. You have to be careful. Last year, they in fact they asked. I don't know this year. It depends on teacher. Last year, like advanced, we had questions on even on galvanometer also. So I'm not sure about the teacher whether he will show interest or not. So better have an idea. Now, what is basically galvanometer? Already we had some